It's just us holding down the fort today.
I love it.
You dancing.
Well, I always got the
It's a
swag here at
vibe.
noon, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, thanks for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon, and happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Kind of doesn't feel like it, but I know we'll get to that. We've got a lot to cover when it comes to Independence Day, plus a major strike starts in just minutes that could impact parks across Minneapolis. But first, one of the biggest stories, like I mentioned today, it's the weather and how that will really impact our plans.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but I actually had family get out and they went to a parade successfully.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, so that's a win. If you can do anything today outside, it's a win. We talked about a lot this morning that the timing for you to be out there was really this morning and right now for some of us, but I will show you where we're tracking this storm out. 68, it's been on and off rain. It is raining. Now I'm looking at temperatures closely here because the environment's not amazing to have very nasty storms. We haven't really warmed up a lot. Brainerd, you guys are the warm spot. It's been the best day for sure in Brainerd. Things are increasing up there as well. So a very active look here. You can see the severe thunderstorm is down there. That's in Murray County, just south of Marshall there. Twin Cities right now is kind of mainly dry, honestly. But you see that little storm down there towards Hutch, Waconia, Gaylord area. That's going to be moving into Carver County. So that is going to be really the first, what I would say, downpour. This is a non-downpour in Melrose, Long Prairie. You can see Brainerd still, you guys have 2 hours of playtime up there. You guys can, if you're watching right now or listening on the radio or whatever you're doing, you still have 2 hours. And you guys are not going to deal with severe weather or thunderstorms. It'll just be rain. Getting down to that severe thunderstorm, this is out until 12:15. Again, this is for Lyon and Murray counties. This is moving. This is only for hail. Looks like the hail core is already weakened a tad. This line is going to be moving into Redwood Falls. A lot of activity ahead of it, so I don't expect it to really strengthen much, but it is a decent thunderstorm nonetheless. We're going to kind of go in and out of the clouds. Once we get to this evening, it's really going to be picking up steam, but on and off thunderstorms continue today. We'll track and time this thing out for you in a bit here.
Umbrellas on standby for sure. Thanks, John. Well, hey, the Minneapolis Red, White, and Boom celebration is back this year after a 5-year hiatus. As it kicks off, police are hoping to keep things safe across the area. Michelle Beck lays out tonight's security plans.
Rain or shine, multiple law enforcement agencies are going to be banding together to make sure there is order tonight. They're going to start by closing up the roads up and down the river, as well as around Badema-Casca. Police are also prepared to make arrests and seize all illegal fireworks endangering others. It reminds us of the chaos we saw in the last 2 years where people were shooting fireworks in every direction and at marked emergency vehicles. The city hopes a real fireworks show like Red, White, and Boom will give young people something better to do. But if anyone has any bad intentions, Police Chief Brian O'Hara has this message for them.
These are out-of-towners. They're not people from Minneapolis coming here and disrupting our residents' lives, and we're not going to deal with it. And if mom and dad don't know where their kid is, they will find out after we tow their Mercedes-Benz and they have to pick it up in the Minneapolis Police area.
You do also know there are parking restrictions around town as well. On Boom Island, parking is going to be limited to those with disability placards only. In Minneapolis, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
Well, to get ahead of the rain, some fireworks shows and celebrations have already wrapped up. An Excelsior 100 showed up to Lake Minnetonka to see the show. Organizers say the event cost them about $40,000, which is why they made the decision to move it to last night. They made the call Tuesday morning, giving vendors and people planning to attend enough time to switch up their schedules.
It has definitely been an odd year, but when you host events for a living and most of them are outdoor, you kind of get used to those things being thrown at you.
Lots of other shows around the metro still on for now, but many are also postponed. We have a list of where and when they're happening. Just text fireworks to 763-797-7215 and we'll text you back with a link. Many of us are planning to head out to parks today and tonight, but in Minneapolis, it's the Parks and Rec workers who won't be there. Audrey Russo has the details as we prepare for a strike to start.
We're about 1 hour away from a strike in the Minneapolis parks on the park's busiest day of the entire year. Leuna Local 363's 300-plus union employees will begin the Red, White, and Strike at the Union Labor Center in Minneapolis at 1 p.m. The strike comes after 7 months of negotiation with the Minneapolis Park Board. The tension stems from whether the union thinks the park board's offer of a 10% raise over 3 years is fair. The union, which consists of arborists and maintenance workers, describes it as a week-long strike action. However, the park board told us once an employee walks off the job, they will not be allowed to return until an agreement has been reached and ratified. In the meantime, the park superintendent says the biggest priority now is keeping the public spaces safe.
Yeah, we're going to do our very best, considering that there is potential for strike, to make sure we do the services that we need to do. The priority, of course, is safety. But the reality, too, is that we have to make sure we provide trash pickup and cleaning and all those kind of things that the residents require of us. And so we are planning for that. We'll do our very best to maintain those services, and we're as prepared as we can be for it.
Leona Local 363's demonstration today will start again at 1 p.m. with a barbecue. Then it'll move into some speeches, and weather permitting, there will be a march. Back to you.
Thanks, Audrey, for that. If you're planning to use some of this holiday time on the beach, you'll want to check which ones are still open. Lake Hiawatha, Bedeh-McCoska's North Beach, and 32nd Street Beach are all closed because of E. coli. Lake Harriet's North Beach is also closed because of high bacteria levels. Flooding could be impacting some holiday plans up north. In Cook, trails and some campsites will be closed because of high waters. For people living there, it's part of their daily lives as they wait for state and federal funding, but that could take weeks, even months to kick in. Until then, businesses and residents have to come up with funds up front to repair damages to their properties. In Faribault, rising waters are compromising the city's dam. In the last 24 hours, crews worked to stabilize the ground and limit erosion along the Cannon River there. The city says they won't know the extent of the damage until water goes down, but they say it's not as concerning as the Rapidan Dam near Mankato, and there's no immediate risk to the public. If your holiday plans are to spend time on the lake this 4th of July weekend, expect to see more water patrols. Starting today, the DNR is teaming up with the State Patrol and local law enforcement to keep an eye out for drunk boaters. In Minnesota, it is illegal to drive or operate a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or a controlled substance. The DNR is also urging anyone who's on a boat to wear a life jacket and to stay off of rain-swollen rivers. Operation Dry Water runs through today through Saturday. Tonight, President Biden will host his annual 4th of July party at the White House. It comes after Biden's administration made it clear he won't drop out of the presidential race. The president is facing mounting pressure from dozens of his allies to step aside. About 15 hours ago, Governor Walz joined several other Democratic governors in Washington to meet with the president. Walz said the governors had an honest conversation about the feedback they were hearing. And despite a poor showing at last week's debate, Walz says the group of governors believe Biden is still fit for office.
3.5 years of delivering for us, going through what we've all been through. None of us are denying. Thursday night was a bad performance. It was a bad hit, if you will, on that. But it doesn't impact what I believe he's delivering.
A New York Times Siena poll conducted after the debate shows Biden trailing former President Trump by 9 percentage points among registered voters and by 6 points among likely voters. Later today, President Biden is expected to talk with Israel's prime minister over a potential hostage deal. A White House official says the leaders are discussing developments in a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. The two sides appear to be close to an agreement, but a deal isn't finalized yet. The last time Biden met with Benjamin Netanyahu was in the beginning of May. The first vending machine filled with Narcan, the life-saving drug used to reverse an opioid overdose, is now available. Each box contains 2 doses of Narcan and is free for everyone to pick up 24/7, no questions asked. The machine is located in South Minneapolis, just outside Fire Station 21 at 38th and Snelling. Officials say it was placed there because of frequent substance use in that area, with 74 suspected overdoses there so far this year. 4 of them have unfortunately been fatal.
We know that this is a drug, and specifically fentanyl, that has taken control of people's life like nothing that we've seen before. And we know that we have the tools to help.
The vending machine is stocked with more than 100 boxes of Narcan that will be refilled as needed. The city health department will see how it works and consider installing similar vending machines in other neighborhoods. Well, artificial intelligence is coming to the Olympics, but the reaction is mixed on social media.
Ty Kelly, welcome to your daily Olympic recap, your personal rundown of yesterday's most thrilling Olympic moments.
You just heard an AI-generated voice clone of sportscaster Al Michaels. NBC recreated his voice for daily recaps of the Paris Summer Games on its streaming platform, Peacock. Starting July 27th, you can access content like event updates and athlete backstories, but not everyone is loving AIL. Michaels himself says he had a few reservations, but once he heard how close it is to his actual voice, he says he gave NBC his blessing. Interesting. When the U.S. women's gymnastics team was announced Sunday in Minneapolis, they were sporting special jackets. They were a collaboration with designer and former competitive gymnast Sammy Miro, who wanted to capture the standout traits of the team. Now we're getting a better look.
So you'll start to see really special embellishments on the jacket. It's celebrated off of Nike, the Greek goddess. And so it really is talking about, it's bringing together sparkle and strength, and it's also bringing together greatness and glory and inspiration for our amazing athletes.
It's just one of many Olympic fashion pieces that will be on display in Paris. The games kick off on July 26 right here on KARE 11. And we've got another championship win when it comes to the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Defending champ Miki Sudo now has a 10th title from the women's contest. She ate 51 hot dogs in just 10 minutes, setting a new women's world record that also passes her personal best of 48.5 dogs. Wow, the men's contest just wrapped up with Patrick Bertoletti of Chicago taking home his first win.